folks, it's the Pace Chaser again. Welcome to another one of my videos. This is another one of the model reviews that I do from time to time, where we look at some of the older diecast models that are available on the second-hand market. And today we've got the Corgi Original Omnibus Company OOC MCW Metrobus. I've got one of the catalogue releases to review, the Mark II in Maidstone and District livery. And I've got a Mark I that's actually been repainted, so I'm going to have a quick look at it. I'll just show you some of the differences between the Mark I and the Mark II. So the first release of the Metrobus was done by Corgi OOC in May 2000. Up to press, I'm doing this in March 2024. The last one released was in December 2014. There are 32 catalogue numbers and 38 different releases. 6 of the catalogue numbers had sort of an A and B or a 1 and 2 variation, usually with different destination blinds on them. So there are essentially 4 variants of this that Corgi have done, and hats off to them for doing so many variations. They've done the Mark I with single door and dual door bodywork, and they've done the Mark II with single door and dual door bodywork as well. So essentially there are 2 different top halves, the Mark I and the Mark II, and 4 different bottom halves. You've got the Mark I single door, Mark I double door, Mark II single door and Mark II double door. So there's quite a lot of variations between them. As I said, I've got the Maidstone District one, which is a Mark II single door, and I've got a repainted London one, which is a Mark I double door to look at. So we'll start by taking the Maidstone one out of the box. This is catalogue number OM45111. It's in its plastic box that was the standard kind of packaging for Corgi Original Omnibus Company. They were intended to act as display cases if you just had 1 or 2 models as well, but if you've got quite a few of them, then it's usually best to take them out of the box to save a bit of space. So I've got the lid off so we can have a look a bit closer at the bus. To take it off the base, it's screwed on, so you basically lift up the limited edition certificate there, and then there's 2 screws underneath it which you can undo to get it off the base. I'm going to leave this one on its base, I think, because we can see it well enough from here for our purposes. So we'll start with the front. First impressions are very good. It looks very much like it should do, like a Metrobus. The shape of it is good. The sort of slight recess of the front upper works there. Front window is pretty decent as well, the shape and size of it. Another variation they did was some had opening windows and some had closed. You can see the Mark I has got opening windows, whereas this Mark II has got fixed glass. The Mark II has a bit of a detailing in the casting around the destination blind area, so they all really use that. That's a bit of relief modelled there, which again looks very effective. The windscreen looks like it should do. Wipers nicely modelled. The mirrors not too obtrusive and not too flimsy either. They're quite sturdy. I'm just trying to move that one. It's not moving. And then we come down to the grille area. The grille is printed on, but it looks pretty effective. It looks like it should do. MCW badge nicely done there. Go around to the near side. Common to many Original Omnibus Company releases, the door is printed onto the glazing. It's just flat printed onto the plastic. It does look a little bit too flat. The relief on it's not particularly good. It does kind of detract from the appearance very slightly. It's not too bad. I've seen worse. The glazing bars for the hopper ventilators are printed onto the windows, but they don't look too bad. The windows are nice and flush and they look quite effective. Wheels look good. They look as they should do. There's a little bit of relief to these grills towards the back, partly printed and partly in relief. And again, they look pretty decent. All in all, it's a very good model. Go around the back, it's got the earlier type of upper deck emergency exit. Some of the later Mark IIs had a much bigger window that didn't have the frame around it. But this, the Corgi release, is that all of them have this earlier type with a heavier dome and a frame. An emergency door rather than an emergency window. But yeah, right shape and size, it's right for this bus. This bus would have had one like that. The lower deck back window, right size and shape again. And you've got some nice detail in there around the engine cover. The handle to open the engine that's actually printed on. Just something to be aware of if you're repainting one. Lights look effective. The seam line between the two halves of the casting is there. It doesn't look too obtrusive. It blends in quite nicely. And we'll go on the offside again, pretty decent. Grills again, a mixture of relief and printing. Front one there printed. But yeah, it all looks pretty good. The roof, quite plain as you would expect from a modern vehicle, but the panel lines are nicely represented there. I'm going to leave this one on the base, so I won't show you the chassis of that one, but I will show you the chassis of the Mark 1. And as you can see, it's got a little bit of the detailing that you would expect on the underside of a die-cast. A little bit of the exhaust system and axles and things like that. So we'll have a quick look at the Mark 1. I'm not going to do it in too much detail because, as I say, it is partially repainted. I've masked off the original grille, so it's still got the original grille area. You can see differences with the Mark 1. The front upper deck doesn't recess in. You see there's like a lip at the top, and the actual panel recesses, whereas there it's more flush, and that's modelled correctly. So this one's got the representation of the opening windows. The Mark 1 doesn't have any relief around destination blind. It's flat printed, so they can do different variations, just print them on. This one is a transfer. Got the asymmetric windscreen there, which was a characteristic of the Mark 1 Metrobus. It should have windscreen wipers. As always with my channel, this is a cheap second-hand one that I've bought that had both wipers missing and one of the mirrors, or it's just got the stub of one of the mirrors there. As you can see, the grille again is nicely done, printed on, but very effective, and the headlight area looks good as well. So this one's a dual door. Again, the doors were printed. I've painted over them. Look reasonably effective. It's you know, they could be better. I mean, I've said before, you can cut out a plastic framework and stick it over to give a bit of relief, but I've not done this on this one. I've just painted over the doors. And around the back again, pretty decent, very similar to the Mark II that we've just seen. And go around to the offside. This one, being a dual door bus, has got the staircase in the centre. The single door version has got the staircase towards the front, as you would expect. And again, the roof is pretty much the same as the Mark II. So they are very nice models. I liked Metrobuses in real life. They're very characterful vehicles with a very distinctive sound. I had some very nice journeys on them. So it's stood to reason that I would want to have a model of the Metrobuses. We come, as always, towards the end of these reviews to price. As I say, I'm doing this in March 2024, so the information I've got is correct to then. I've just been on the internet on eBay to have a quick look at the buy it now price of Corgi Metrobuses. Cheapest one I could find was £7.99 plus £3.20 postage and packing, to give a cost of £11.19. The most expensive one I could find was £65. That was the Metro line release. That's quite an expensive one. Seems to be quite sought after, which is a bit of a shame because I wanted one, but I can't justify paying £65 for it. Dublin bus one was also quite expensive. That was £50, and the Greater Manchester one tends to command the high price. There's one of them for £42. But as I say, starts about £11–12. Generally, if you want a cheapish one to repaint, look at paying between £12 and £16. But it does range from there, as I say, right up to £65, depending exactly which release you want. But yeah, decent model. I thoroughly recommend getting one or two for your collection. And as always, thank you for joining me. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.